Up next is Action TV.
If the original plans for the Hardy Technical Institute in Ampara, established under the Colombo Plan in 1953, were implemented as intended, there is a possibility that by now this land would have been a hub for agricultural research by now. The Hardy Technical Institute, which used to be the second choice of students who did not qualify for university education, was later downgraded following cutbacks to state education budgets. The institute has been placed under the purview of several different ministries since its establishment. At present, the courses offered by the institute come under the purview of two different ministries. More importance was attached to this land than to rebuilding this institute, with the decision to hold the Dayata Kirula National Development Exhibition at these premises. With the selection of the premises spanning 196 acres as the site of the Dayata Kirula exhibition, the residents of 95 official residences at the premises had to temporarily relocate. Some of these people were given 40,000 rupees as a temporary rent allowance and were promised that their homes would be renovated and returned to them upon the conclusion of the Dayata Kirula exhibition. 5 months after the conclusion of the exhibition, only the residents of 75 of the 95 official residences here have returned. Instead of renovation, a plethora of new problems have been introduced to these residences. It's only after this dense brush is removed can it be determined whether the remaining 20 homes are fit for human habitation. The people who lived here no longer receive the monthly allowance. When the resources of an institution that is useful to the country are a mouth of destruction, is it suitable to have an attitude of negligence? District Secretary of Ampara, this is over to you.
Meanwhile, Fonterra brand Sri Lanka issuing a statement notes that the interim order issued with regard to its products has been handed over to the organization. The organization notes that the interim order has prohibited the distribution and advertising of their products for a period of 14 days. Now, the statement issued by Fonterra brand Sri Lanka adds that the judicial action is a result of the activities of three trade unions and 3 consumers. Now, the organization reiterates that it would comply with the court decision and added that future course of legal action would be taken momentarily. Moving on to international news, judicial officials said today that former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, who is on retrial for the killings of hundreds of protesters during the 2011 uprising that led to his ouster, could be released from custody later this week.
The officials said that there were no longer any grounds to hold the 85-year-old because of the exhibition of a 2-year legal limit for holding an individual in custody pending a final verdict.
Now, meanwhile, the violence continues in Egypt as at least 36 Muslim Brotherhood supporters were killed while trying to escape a prison convoy yesterday. Now, while today in the Sinai Peninsula, 24 police officers were killed in an ambush by Islamists.
Egypt's Interior Ministry gave 2 conflicting accounts as to what exactly happened to the convoy of 612 prisoners who were travelling to the Abu Zabal prison in Caliobia province from Cairo. At first, it was claimed the prisoners were killed in an exchange of gunfire after some of them took a military officer hostage as the convoy of detainees was attacked by unidentified government gunmen. The Interior Ministry later announced that the detainees suffocated from inhaling tear gas, which was fired into the van in an attempt to free the hostage. The Muslim Brotherhood called the killings cold-blooded. So far, 1,000 Brotherhood members have been arrested in raids since Wednesday. Analysts say this will only increase the volatile situation in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, where yesterday 24 policemen came under attack from armed men close to the town of Rafah on the Gaza border. Again, accounts of the incident vary, with the Associated Press quoting security sources as saying 4 armed men had stopped the police buses and forced the passengers to get out before shooting them. There had also been reports of rocket-propelled grenades being fired at the buses. The Sinai region is mainly inhabited by tribes who complain of marginalization and neglect from governments. The region is basically underdeveloped desert, lacking basic services and infrastructure. Drug dealing, human trafficking and arms smuggling are staple activities there, while providing a haven for armed fighters and jihadi cells. Law enforcement takes form in arbitrary arrests, which fail to understand or address root causes.
Local officials say that 37 people have died after being hit by an express train while crossing the tracks at a remote train station in the Indian state of Bihar.
The passengers, mostly Hindu pilgrims, had just alighted from a local train at Damara Ghat station and were on their way to a temple in Saharsa district. Rescue operations are underway and police reinforcements have been sent. Senior State Police Officer S.K. Bardwaj said it was difficult to say how many people had died as many bodies had been dismembered. The incident took place at 8:40 a.m. local time in India. The pilgrims were hit by the Rajya Rani Express travelling on the opposite track. Railway officials said the express train was travelling at high speed and it was not expected to stop at Damara Ghat station.
News First at 9.
Well, the IAAF World Athletic Championships in Moscow came to a close last night, with Russia topping the medals table with 7 golds, while India and Jamaica won 6 golds and Kenya claiming 5.
Well, that's right, Nushan. Now the World Championship saw its end lit up with an Usain Bolt special, when the world champion sprinter anchored Jamaica to the 4x100 meters relay gold. Now Bolt also carved his name into the most successful athlete in the history of World Championships, as his 3 gold medals in Moscow takes his total tally to 8 golds and 2 silvers.
Nesta Carter, the 100 meters.
The Jamaican team of Nesta Carter, Kema Bailey-Cole, Nickel Ashmead and Usain Bolt secured the Caribbean nation a hat-trick of world titles in a time of 37.36 seconds. Justin Gatlin brought home the US in 37.66 seconds for the silver medal, with Canada upgraded to bronze after Britain were disqualified after a changeover mistake. Usain Bolt's task was made easier when American fourth leg runner Justin Gatlin fluffed his hand over, stumbling and veering into the Jamaicans' lane.
Oh, a bit of a message change to the Americans, but here comes the imperious, the one and only Usain Bolt to anchor Jamaica to victory. United States take second, Great Britain take third, Canada take fourth. It's 37-37, not quite as quick as previous times, but Bolt goes into history with his 4th treble of global championship victories. He won clearly, and just look at the gap he opened up on that last leg over Justin.
There's no finer place to be than in the whole city.
You go into a championship with a focus. I came here to win 3 gold medals. That was my focus. I'm happy with myself, and that's what I did. I came here, dominated, and now I'm leaving.
On the championship on the last night, all the athletes will be letting their hair down.
Meanwhile, in some local sports news, Sitara Ambawata clinched victory in the under-12 girls category of the Junior National Tennis Tournament by defeating Natasha Munavira at the finals. Now, Medira Samar Singh also defeated Rukshika Abdin in a girls singles encounter in the under-14 category.
News First at 9.
And with that, we bring today's edition of Primetime News to a close. Thank you very much for joining us. For News First, I'm Shahin Dirangpati.
And I'm Nushin Arifali. Thank you for watching.
News First at 9.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.